Hey friends, I wanted to work on a Christmas home decor project. I have this old wooden box that I've used for a couple other projects. I sanded it down so you can see several colors on there, but I want to give it a red and black, bold, Christmas looking design. I'll be using Dixie Belle's stencils for that and I'll also make one of my own. But for this one, we really want to get started and give it a good base coat. I'm going to use Dixie Belle's Gray Boss just to give it a nice clean start. And then jump right in with Dixie Belle's Chalk Mineral Paint Barn Red because it's a really great red for Christmas. And I'm just going to go around and give it one good coat. Once that's dry, we'll definitely come back in with two coats just because I want to make sure that it's got a nice solid red base. Notice I'm using a little small Lazy Susan so I can spin it around. That was so helpful for this project. I'll not be painting the inside of the box or the bottom, but just the main areas you're going to see when it's all done. I do have a laser burner, so I'm going to create a little stencil I made with some cardstock using some custom design type that I laid out. I think it'd be really great to make this a Christmas tree farm kind of theme, and it's going to go with the home decor I have here at the house when we get all decorated for Christmas. All right, there goes my second coat. It's looking great, so I'll give it some time to dry, maybe overnight. That'll be really good. I'm going to be using the whimsical check stencil, but you could also use something like the buffalo check stencil that Dixie Belle has on their website. I'm going in there with caviar, and I'm not too worried about it making it perfect because in a little bit we're going to do some sanding to kind of distress it. So just move the stencil down to complete the entire row, and I'm going to do this on the front and back of the box. So two complete sets, front and back. I'm not going to do the sides. Once that was done, I went ahead and marked the center and applied some painter's tape to the sides of my stencil so I can come back in there with Dixie Belle's cotton chalk mineral paint to give it that white lettering that I want. I really want this to pop off the stencil. For the stencil, I'm using Dixie Belle's blue sponge, but you can use other things like brushes, the foam and dandy. There's a lot of ways to apply this through a stencil. Of course, you do not have to use a stencil. You can hand letter. You can use any other kind of stencil that gives you the type or design that you would like on your box. Time to remove that stencil. Now you'll notice there are some areas that are not complete. I'll come back in there with a small brush that Dixie Belle has, their craft artist brushes, and I'll touch up and complete any of the type areas that the stencil may have left undone. We're all set. Now it's time to give it a little bit of distressing because I don't want it to be too clean or too fresh. I want it to look like it's been around a little while. So I'll be using some sanding blocks and some different sheets of sanding paper, 80 grit, 120 grit, even some 220 grit. You go for the style that you would like. Heavy distress, light distress. In this case, I'm going a little bit of all over the place. I don't mind if the original Gray Boss is seen through some of the sanding I'm doing. This box is rugged, so there should be plenty of scratches, plenty of dents, and different areas that bring out great texture on this box. It should match the home decor I have and all the other Christmas decorations. Just warm and cozy overall. If you look up close here, you'll see some of the heavy scratches, some of the light scratches, even along the base of the overall project. This allows you to not to feel too concerned if your stenciling isn't perfect, and I really wasn't going for perfect anyway. Just get the project done knowing that it's going to have a nice cozy look once all the sanding's done. I'm going to go over my stenciling of my type as well. I'd like for that to be casual, rugged, and let the scratches begin. Notice at the bottom you can see a little bit of that Gray Boss coming through. Perfectly fine to see that. It's all going to come together when it's all top coated equally. So you can see here again I'm using pieces of sandpaper folded with the sanding sponge, whatever works for you and your style to sand by hand. Now it's time to wipe it all down with a nice rag, and you can see here everything's looking great and it's ready for top coat. I'm going to sand the sides. You see that I'm using a sanding sponge, but really it's just to hold the sanding paper that I have. There's all kinds of ways. You can use a sander, you can do it by hand, just whatever works and the project that you're working on. I sand even the tops all the way around so the whole piece has a consistent feel overall. Now it's time for some Dixie Belle satin top coat using the Foam and Dandy brush. Wow, look at that transformation from a plain old wooden box. Now it's got a great stencil, good decor, ready for all the Christmas goodies you might put into it. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on your post notifications to get notified when we post. Thanks for watching.